Alright everyone, this is Ross, and today I want to show you guys how to make kombucha. It's been a really amazing drink that I have really been getting into recently. To me, it's a lot like a soda that's good for you, which is kind of crazy. Here's the finished product. This is actually finished its second fermentation, and it should be carbonated. So it's carbonated just like soda. But what kombucha is that it's really just a fermented tea, and you can see here is some plain old gunpowder green tea. You can use black tea as well, and you also add in sugar, and you add that stuff in here to the mother, or the SCOBY is what it's called, and you can get this thing online, believe it or not. It's a living thing that when kept at the right pH, it doesn't harbor any harmful bacteria. And it's actually a living thing that constantly grows, and when you feed it sugar, it continues to grow. So it just gets stronger and stronger over time, and in fact it forms these layers, kind of like a stack of pancakes. You can pull off one layer and then put it into a new vessel here and start yourself a second batch of kombucha, and that's pretty much what we've done. It's really, really beneficial, I think, and I want to just show you guys exactly how to do this. So I guess step one would be obviously to get yourself some tea. You can get this online. I don't think the quality really matters all that much. What you're going to do is you're going to take this tea, by the way, and you're going to boil it. And if we come over here to the stove, we have been boiling. Actually, I'm sorry, you're not going to boil it. My mistake. You don't boil green tea. You can boil black tea, but green tea, it gets astringent and gets a little bitter if you boil it. So you want to let the water boil, let it cool down a little bit so that it's no longer boiling. It's at a really strong simmer, and then put the tea in there. I think it's somewhere around like 170 degrees is what you want, something like that. Put the tea in there, and then we're going to put in the sugar. And because we're doing 2 batches of this, I'm doing about a gallon of water. We're going to put in 2 cups of sugar. It's a lot of sugar. But the SCOBY eats that sugar. So it really isn't the end of the world. And you may think, wow, that's a sugary drink. But when it's all said and done, it really isn't that sugary. We just got sugar all over the place. So that's about good. And then we're going to mix this around. In terms of the amount of tea, what I've heard and what I've been recommended is about 7 grams of tea per quart of water and about 70 grams of sugar. So we're doing 4 quarts of water, aka a gallon of kombucha. So we did 2 cups of sugar, about something around that, and then we also did about, I think it's 28 grams of tea. So that's all we're doing here. And we're letting this sit. I'm just mixing it around so that the sugar can dissolve. And I guess, oh, the camera's getting a little foggy there. Sorry, guys. But I just want to mix this around again. Let this thing do its thing and just steep for about 15 minutes. We're almost at that point. I'm probably not going to show you guys that step, but what we're going to do is that once this cools down a bit and once the sugar dissolves and this is finished steeping, we're going to actually take some colder water from the sink. I'm of course going to measure it out. I need, let's see, 2 more quarts of water. We'll put that in here, and essentially that'll cool down this liquid to a reasonable temperature. If it's too hot, when you put the tea into the vessel here, it's going to kill a lot of that bacteria. It may harm the SCOBY as well, so don't do that. But essentially, we're just going to let it cool down with that cold water that we're going to put in there, and it's going to really make it easy to touch, pretty much. And then once we've got that, we're going to split that up half and half, so 2 quarts in here, 2 quarts in here. You're going to put the lid on, and what's nice about these little things I have, this particular container, is that there's a nice little air that can escape up here. Other people, what they do is they get some cheesecloth, and they'll put a rubber band around the top, and then that way it can breathe. It's got to breathe. You also want this particular vessel and all of these things here, you want them to be fermentation grade, because you don't want any of this to be exploding on you, because a lot of that pressure and air builds up in here, and if there's nowhere to go, it will actually explode and crack the glass all over the floor and your kitchen. So just be aware of that. But we are going to put the lid back on, right? And then once this is in here, it just sits here for about 7 to 10 days, maybe even shorter. I've had one that only took about 4 to 5 days. You know, it really depends on your taste preferences. And what you're going to do is that you can come in here, take the lid off, and then get yourself a straw and stick the straw in there and taste it. And whenever it gets to your liking, so it's not too sweet, it's not too sour, somewhere in there, we're then going to put them in this bottle. So you're going to take this kombucha here, lift the lid up on this vessel, and then pour it into this bottle. And then you got to add some juice, and you can add any juice you want, fruit juice. You can take fruits and juice them yourself. So if wherever you guys are going to be growing fruits this summer, I'm going to be adding lots of raspberries because I have an endless supply, probably even strawberries, and we'll just stick them in here. And I don't even know how much exactly you want, but about a couple inches on the bottom of juice, and then the rest of it should be this kombucha. And then also, you got to leave some headspace here at the top. So just somewhere around the neck of the bottle, I think, is pretty much recommended. That's the same reason for that, is because you don't want it to explode. You know, the air is going to get trapped in here because these are going to be completely sealed shut. But that's to carbonate, right? You got to get these things carbonated to get the real kombucha, the real full effect of it. And by the end of it, it should be really well carbonated, but also kind of sweet, kind of sour, have lots of probiotics in it. And this, when it gets to this stage here, it stays in this bottle for about 4 to 7 days, somewhere around there, really depending on how much sugar was in there versus the amount of starter liquid. This is the starter liquid that everybody refers to. Something else I'd recommend is that get yourself some, if I can get this here, get yourself some pH test strips. And they're really cheap on Amazon. All this stuff's pretty cheap on Amazon. I think I got these 6 bottles here for like $12.50. And then this particular thing here, which is really nifty. I love how it has this thing and also the lid. I think that was only about maybe $12.50 a piece, something around there, 15 bucks a piece, I can't remember. But these pH test strips are really nice, because what you want to do is test your kombucha, test the pH every time you brew. And the reason for that is because you really want this thing to be at about 4 or lower, and the lower it is, I think it's below, if it's below 4, then it's going to kill all that harmful bacteria. And then if anything does get in here, because you really want to be sterile with all this stuff, even, you know, something like this, the strainer for the tea that I'm going to use, even a funnel, I mean, all the things you use, you really want to keep all this stuff clean. Because if any of that bad bacteria gets into the SCOBY, it can mess with it, it can proliferate, and then even mold can form, and you know, that's just a whole nother thing you're gonna have to look up. But basically that's really it. I mean, it's so simple that you just have to get this thing and it does all of it for you. You know, I just mentioned all those steps between boiling it and adding the sugar, and then adding the juice, but really I'm not doing a damn thing. It does it all by itself, right? Again, you just put all that in here with the SCOBY, the tea, the sugar. Once that ferments for about 7 to 10 days, you take it out of here, put it in one of these bottles, add in about 2 to 3 inches of juice at the bottom. The rest of it's going to be the kombucha from here that was already fermenting for 7 to 10 days. And then from here, it just sits in there for about another 4 to 7 days, somewhere around that, and it's carbonated. And then it's fermented twice, and all that sugar you added by the end should be pretty much reduced to almost nothing. So let's take a look. Here's 2 of them we did earlier this week, and I've been reusing this. If you ever buy kombucha bottles at the store, just save the bottle, because the bottle, you know, is going to be fermentation grade. But let's open this and we'll see. Hopefully nobody dies. Alrighty, so there you go. You can see perfect carbonation. Awesome. And there's actually, believe it or not, a SCOBY floating at the top here, a little mini SCOBY. You can eat that. It's not going to harm you, but I don't recommend it because it's not going to really taste all that great. But let's pour ourselves some here. Cheers, everybody. It's really good. I don't know what else to say. It's got a lot of probiotics in it. We talked about that. This particular batch is it's a bit more vinegary than it normally is, because I let the starter liquid sit for so long that if you let kombucha sit, I don't know, for a certain period of time and don't add that sugar and don't feed it, eventually it turns into vinegar. So pretty cool. I mean, the whole thing is just a really interesting science experiment, and it just blows my mind that there's a living thing that's doing this whole fermentation process. You know, I make kimchi and sauerkraut and all that stuff, which is another type of fermentation, but there's really no crazy living thing like there is in this process here with the SCOBY. It just really freaks me out, but eventually you get used to it, and it doesn't bother you. You know, I would suggest, if you're thinking about doing this, obviously try kombucha at the store first. See if you like the kombucha. I have found that you can certainly like the kombucha at the store. It's going to be good, but you can make it better yourself. I seriously believe that. So anyway, guys, that is the video. It's really, really simple. Hopefully someone's now inspired to do this. Again, you can get the SCOBYs online. You can get all this stuff online. And yeah, get brewing. All right. Take care, guys. See you for tomorrow's video.